Channel Japan.
Welcome to Channel Japan. I'm Mai Demizu.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week we bring you the freshest information out of Japan from our studio here in Tokyo.
From the economy, culture, and even foods, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it. We'll be bringing you some unique ideas that could give a spark to your business.
First up is Executive Insight, a brand new series in which we feature the heads of some of Japan's leading companies.
Now, today we'll be hearing from Tetsuro Tomita, the president and CEO of East Japan Railway, or better known as JR East.
Well, JR is household name in Japan. Many of us ride JR trains to school or
Me
work.
too.
Well, Utsuda-san, would you give us some backgrounds of this company?
Yes, of course. JR was a state-run railway company until about 25 years ago when it was still known as Japanese National Railways. And it subsequently became privatized and it used to be called Japanese National Railways. It took out the national and became JR. And now it consists of 6 passenger lines. And JR East has been operating the railway assets in East Japan over here, this area, and mainly from Tokyo Station, which is considered the rail gateway of Japan.
They've undergone a massive transformation since becoming privatized, right?
They have. It's not just railways, they've steadily grown their business by moving into a variety of fields.
Well, let's find out the secret of the company's success. Here's our interview with Tetsuro Tomita in Executive Insight.
Executive Insight. East Japan Railway, which is also known as JR East, operates a vast train network in the Tokyo area. Every day, they carry 17 million passengers. The company also operates the Shinkansen bullet trains, which are continually being upgraded. Next March, the top speed will be boosted by nearly 20% to 320 kilometers per hour. And this month, they reopened the Tokyo station after a massive $600 million renovation. JR East is Japan's leading railway operator, boasting annual revenues of over $30 billion. To find out how they've managed to ride through the tough economic conditions, we visited the company's headquarters in Shinjuku. The president is 61-year-old Tetsuro Tomita. The first thing he does is to show us a model of a train. It's the latest Shinkansen.
This train offers superb comfort. It's based on a technology called full active suspension, which minimizes horizontal shaking using pneumatic pressure. It's very rare around the world. The Japanese rail system is extremely advanced, but Europe has some great technologies as well. That's why we've adopted a German braking system. By combining the world's best technologies, we're boosting the top speed to 320 kilometers per hour.
Are you planning to export these trains?
Yes.
JR East was created 25 years ago following the privatization of a national railway company. Steeped in a conservative corporate culture, their losses accumulated. They also had a poor reputation among customers due to the low quality of their services. After being spun off, JR East gradually began overhauling the operations of its 70 train lines and improved convenience for customers. For example, with precise management, it became possible to run trains at very short intervals. A look at the train schedule shows arrivals every few minutes. However, a major issue has been the shrinking population. As the number of commuters continues to fall, the company is being forced to secure new revenue sources. Mr. Tomita is in the midst of implementing several strategies. The first is exports.
How do you plan to expand internationally, especially in terms of the Asian region?
We can operate extremely precise schedules for urban train lines. For example, on average, we can run a train every 2 minutes. We have the train technology and expertise of running a train business. That's what we want people in Asia to understand. We hope Asian countries will adopt our system. I think it would help bring us closer.
I understand you're also expanding into non-railway businesses.
We have two main categories of business, railways and non-railway operations, or what we call lifestyle services. Railways account for 70% of our revenue, and the rest is made up of lifestyle services. In the future, we want to increase the weighting of non-railway businesses. Recently, we've widened our focus from railways to train stations themselves. This is an extremely big move for us. By improving the attractiveness of train stations, we hope to expand revenue sources beyond just railways.
Mr. Tomita believes train stations will become a core revenue generator. Over the past several years, a slew of commercial facilities have been constructed inside train stations. The biggest project is Tokyo Station. Tokyo Station, which was opened a century ago, is the home base of JR East. The three-story brick structure crowned with a dome roof was considered an architectural masterpiece. But after being damaged in a fire during the Second World War, it was rebuilt haphazardly over several decades. To restore its original splendor, JR East spent over $600 million. The adjacent station hotel was also renovated. There are a total of 150 rooms, with some costing over $10,000 per night.
Tokyo Station is naturally one of the first places that foreign tourists will visit in Japan, but why invest so much?
When people from abroad come to Tokyo, it's difficult for them to define what Tokyo is. There are very few structures that have value as landmarks or are symbolic of the city. I think Tokyo Station is a structure that has the potential of becoming one of those symbols. The attraction of urban railways isn't simply the trains themselves. It's also the services offered inside train stations. There are shopping venues, hotels, and even office space. By providing a total system, we hope people can get to know the quality of the Japanese rail system and in-station services.
So, what exactly are those services? We went to have a look. Below the platform is a massive shopping area. There are about 320 shops and restaurants. This store here is a sushi restaurant serving fresh seafood. The various eateries and delis make it difficult for passers-by to pass right by. We see some people carrying several shopping bags. There is even a barber. Many of the customers are said to be business people on their way to meetings near Tokyo Station. Shopping zones like this can actually be found throughout Tokyo Station. After walking through all of them, we finally emerge above ground and see the station building itself. We spoke with some shop owners.
普通の路面店と違ってもう5倍6倍ぐらいのご利用のお客様がお見えになってます。人数が全然違います。圧倒されてますね。
1日に何百食作ってますよ。
This station also serves as a massive battleground for new businesses.
Many people, including those who use this station often, are unsure where Tokyo Station begins and ends. Sometimes it seems I'm endlessly walking inside the station. Is this a way of creating a new type of relationship between the station and surrounding areas?
We have a concept called Tokyo Station City, with the station building at the center. At the same time that it's a train station, it can also function as a city. People who come to a train station have some sort of objective. They don't just come to ride a train. By providing various services to meet their needs, we think there's a way to expand into other areas aside from railways.
A major initiative in expanding such services has been the development of an electronic card called Suica. By charging or depositing money into the card, there's no need to buy a ticket each time you ride the train. This has been a major focus for Mr. Tomita in his efforts to transform the company. He implemented a system by which the card can also be used to buy things at shops in the station area and elsewhere. Currently, about 180,000 shops accept the card.
In the beginning, electronic cards could only be used for transportation. So we started working to expand their use to convenience stores and other shopping venues. At the time, I personally went around and visited various shops to find partners. That's when we first learned about the world outside. To be completely frank, railways were essentially an inward-looking business. We even used to be called a railway family. That's how closed off we were. We could do our work without dealing much with the world outside of railways. As a result, we had very few relationships with non-railway companies. Through initiatives like this, we've been able to learn more about the outside world. I really felt that we can't continue to be self-centered. That realization has led to the success of JR. As a company, we need to continue looking out into the world to find what's out there and what's needed. We don't want to be satisfied.
JR East has succeeded in breaking away from its conservative past. By turning its sights to the world beyond railways, it is laying down new tracks to the future.
Hey, look at this. They're building a huge steel plant with Kobelco technology.
Kobelco? Never heard of it.
It's Japanese. They can make iron with incredible speed. What once took 8 hours can be done in just 10 minutes.
Wow, the Japanese are incredible. The country of karate.
Ha! 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 Karate has nothing to do with it.
True.
The talk of the world. Kobelco.
Just a map and a heart full of courage. Our founders started out with little, but they dared to dream big. Today, our reach is global and our resources extensive. But we still have our eyes on the horizon. With courage, reaching out to the world. Mitsui & Company.
Smells so sweet and she pulls my hand. Flowers can't wait to dance in the crispy wind. Here comes the hummingbird singing. The spring sun hurries up and warms up us all. She's mad at the sunshine, it's getting too hot. And she makes me go buy extra big ice cream. The next day was raining for all day long. She yelled to the sky, oh why on my holiday? Every day, every night, all that you say is making my life very special. Baby, what is waiting for us when we go home? One warming light, I love you, I need you, I really do. You are the
Mitsubishi Electric is helping to change the environment for the better around the world.
Green subway systems in India.
Green air conditioning systems in Singapore.
Eco changes for a greener tomorrow. Mitsubishi Electric.
This summer, Tokyo Broadcasting System presents 3 gorgeous musical shows at the new Tokyo Theater Orb. The opening, West Side Story, is one of the memorable musicals and greatest love stories of all time. $1 Million Quartet takes you to the first and only rock and roll legendary session. Romeo and Juliet is a spectacle French musical. TBS promises you wonderful theater experience in Tokyo.
Asia, the engine of the global economy. The pulse of the region at your fingertips with unique insights from Nikkei. With Nikkei Asian Review, stay up to date on the latest economic trends anywhere in the world. Read the future, lead the economy. Nikkei, Japan's leading media for business.
You're watching Channel Japan. In our next segment, we show you some popular economics programs that's being aired in Japan. Today, it's an episode from TV Tokyo's World Business Satellite. So, Utsuda-san, what's the topic today?
The topic is agriculture and companies that are now developing new types of seeds. So, take a look.
Tomisato, Chiba Prefecture, is a major agricultural center. Local farms are in the midst of shipping out vegetables that were just harvested. Japanese mustard spinach is being put into boxes. Tomohide Saito operates a large farm that specializes in the produce.
周年栽培で年間に250トン
But Mr. Saito has a constant worry.
大雨が降るとゲリラ豪雨で降った雨が地下を浸透して下を染み込んだ状態の中で大体そうですね、この畝でこの辺りまでこう下を染みて濡れてしまうので、そこのところだけがこう著しく大きくなってしまいますね。そうすると旗だけはやっぱ製品としてならずに売り物にならない状態です。
His farm can only ship out spinach that are 25 to 30 centimeters in length. Anything bigger can't be sold. In recent years, torrential downpours have become more frequent. When they occur, the spinach can sometimes grow 3 centimeters at once. And everything in this greenhouse must be thrown away. But a solution has recently been developed to wash away Mr. Saito's problems. At first glance, this looks no different from regular mustard spinach.
これはですね、先月発売したばかりの新しい小松菜の品種です。
新しい品種？
はい。
The newly improved variety is called Natsu no Koshien. The growth is said to be limited even with torrential downpours.
もうこれもゲリラ豪雨は 2回ぐらい食らってるんですけど、著しくこう端が徒長するとか、そういった症状はないですね。
そうですね、十分商品になる形に端っこもなってますので、細かく独特な環境がありますので、そういったところに当てはまる品種というのが必要となってきております。
This is what's called customizing. Based on local weather and demands of farmers, new seed varieties are being developed. Tokita Seed has come up with other types of customized seeds. They showed us one of them.
こちらにあるのが今当社でそうですね、世界50カ国から60カ国向けに販売をしているキャベツの苗です。これ全部違う品種になってまして、ここでおそらく200-300のものがあると思います。いわゆるカスタマイズと言っていいんではないでしょうかね。今ここにあるのがですね、インド向けに開発をした品種で、インドは当然暑い国で、雨も多いですから、それに強い、そしてかつこう石のように硬いキャベツなんですよね。
In India, produce are typically transported over long distances on the back of a truck. Soft cabbage like those typically found in Japan would be crushed. That's why they came up with a harder variety. This strawberry-shaped tomato is called a tomato berry. In Europe, a virus outbreak shrunk the leaves and prevented them from growing. So they customized a variety for the European market that's virus-resistant.
今気象が非常に不安定で、いつどこでどんなことが起こるかわからないような状況がありますよね。生産者の方からもっと自分の地域に気候に合った品種改良をしてくれないかっていう要望がやっぱり最近富に多いですね。
This summer, a severe drought in the United States has slashed corn production to its lowest level in 6 years. Global agricultural crises like this may open an opportunity for Japanese seed customization technology. This is the National Institute of Agrobiological Sciences in Tsukuba City. About 40,000 types of rice seeds are studied here.
これが普通皆さんご存知のコシヒカリという品種なんですけれども、こちらはそのコシヒカリよりも10日ほど早く実るようにしたコシヒカリです。それからこちらは1週間ほど遅く実るようにしたコシヒカリです。
Rice planted at the same time that grows at different speeds. Depending on local weather conditions, farmers can choose to harvest their crop 10 days faster or a week later. So how are these seeds actually customized?
一つの遺伝子をうまく置き換えるようにして作り出した品種です。
To do that, a genetic analysis must be carried out. First, rice seeds and leaves are ground into a powder. It is then soaked in various liquid solutions. The elements containing genetic material clump into white balls. Using a device, their structure is analyzed.
例えばこの2本バンドが見えるものは、これは遺伝子としてはいもち病に弱い遺伝子ということを表してまして、その隣の1本だけ出ているものは、これは遺伝子いもち病に強いものを表しています。
By analyzing the genetic makeup, they're able to accurately identify disease-resistant varieties from disease-prone ones. Using this technology, they're customizing a seed for the international market.
ここにある品種が今開発中の品種なんです。どういうものかというと、これ南アジアの品種なんですけど、その品種に 遺伝子を一つ置き換えて乾燥に強くさせようとしている。
The rice variety harvested in South Asia until now was disease resistant, but because the roots were short, it would easily dry out. So they found a gene that controls root length and created a new variety. An entirely new, customized rice seed that's resistant to disease, grows long roots, and can withstand dry conditions. In experiments, it has been able to go 37 days without water and is growing to harvest size.
ここで今私たちが注目している遺伝子というのは、これ稲で今使っているわけですけれども、これはトウモロコシとか他の穀類にもその同じ遺伝子があるということが分かってますので、この研究が例えばトウモロコシとか小麦とかそういったところにも波及してくることも考えられます。
Global agriculture is increasingly at the mercy of climate change. With customization, farmers may finally find firm ground.
Utsuda-san, I didn't know that there is so many technology that's put into this tiny seeds.
True, it's quite amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
That many firms in Japan possess world-class technologies. Today we'll be looking at a company that's developing new products by using advanced technology and incorporating them with cutting-edge design. So take a look.
A woman walks through a residential district apparently searching for something.
ないかな?
What she's looking for are products made by her company. They're said to be everywhere in this area.
あそこにある黄色と白の斜め線があるじゃないですか。あれがそうです。
These sheets are often seen wrapped around utility poles in Japan. They are made by Ms. Harada's company.
これもそうですね。だから本当に気をつけていただくとあるのよ。
There's actually a surprising function. They prevent posters from being put up. When a piece of paper is posted up with tape, the tape refuses to stick and peels off. The dimpled surface made from vinyl chloride renders adhesive materials ineffective, preventing posters from being put up.
うちのは素材が少し厚いものですから非常にそういう点は耐候性がいいかなと思っております。
But with utility wires increasingly buried underground, their sales have been sliding. Since they're durable, they're not replaced very often. Up until 30 years ago, the company sold 350,000 sheets a year, but now sales have fallen to about a tenth. In an attempt to find a new market, they used the material to make a beverage coaster, but sales were dismal.
これは失敗だったのかなって思ってます。
Ms. Harada felt the company was lacking something. So she decided to enter the Tokyo Business Design Award Contest. The contest is held by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government and aims to bring companies with technologies and designers together to create hit products. One company that's participating makes an LED cloth that can be washed. Small LED chips and electrical wires are embedded in the string, which can then be sewn onto clothes. It's waterproof and can be washed. The company is hoping to team up with a designer.
今、その大きな産業がですね、不安になっている中、一緒に そのまま小さくなってしまうのではなくて、新しい考え方で新しいビジネスに飛躍させる、デザインと組み合わさった時にどのような化学反応を起こすかと。
One designer has already taken an interest in Ms. Harada's sheet. Yo Komiyama has designed various consumer products.
これは電柱のためじゃなくても、人が身につける、ものでも流用できるんじゃないかなと。
Mr. Komiyama's idea was to make a bag. He took advantage of the durable vinyl chloride material.
今まで普通に使われていた素材がこんな風に、変化して魅力的になるんだっていうところが必要だなと思っているので。
On this day, a representative of the contest visits a paint maker who submitted an entry form. Contest participants are first paired up with a designer and spend several months developing a new product. A winner will be decided next January.
ガラスに色をつけたいんだけど、いずれは取ってしまいたいっていう時にちょっとお使いいただいたりとかですね。
ガラスに、ね、暗幕の代わりに黒くするっていう、透明の黒でやればそれができる。そうですね。だからね、いろんなことができそうだなって。そうですね。
This company's product is a versatile paint that can be painted and easily peeled off. Applied to a plastic board and dried for 1 to 2 hours, it can be peeled right off. It works on any material, including wood, and can be sprayed on as well. Until now, the paint was mainly used to protect the surface of car parts. But the company is hoping that the easy applicability and wide range of colors will help open up new markets. Such cases have caught the attention of another company. This printing firm says it has technology that's a first in the industry. Intricate patterns appear with flashes of light. This is called ultra-fine laser processing. It is an inkless technology by which a laser makes narrow grooves. They say it can engrave lines as narrow as 1/10 of a millimeter.
People see it, すごいね、こんな細かいことができるんだねっていうのは話は聞くんですけれども、今回のような企画デザインアワードで、そういった方と巡り会えたらとても自分も刺激を感じるし。
One person who's taking part in the project is Mr. Fujita, a designer with a 30-year career. He says he's constantly conceptualizing hit products that combine design and technology.
ちょっとしたワクワク感とか生活がちょっとでも新しくなるとかっていうことがうまく一緒にできればすごく楽しいかなっていうか、そういうものがこれから買ってもらえる可能性が高いんじゃないかなと。
So, will the mixture of technology and design give birth to new businesses? Triggering a chemical reaction may be the only way to find out.
Well, not only in Japan, but country across Asia, they're focusing more on design as well.
They definitely are. Example, now this logo over here is used by products that were that received recognition and were presented an award for their designs by Japan Institute of Design Promotion, and the mark over here is the mark of a similar organization in Thailand, and they've tied up to showcase products that have won awards.
I see.
and they've been brought over to Japan, and some are put into stores. And some of the products that have received such awards we've brought into the studio today.
Yes.
So
they're stylish.
These are, yes, from Thailand, and a soap dispenser.
Soap dispenser, yes.
And these
bottles.
products, yes, they include the bottles.
And this over here?
That is a bar of soap.
Oh, soap.
And the design, what do you think it was based on? It was...
maybe like a boat or something.
It looks like a boat, doesn't it? But actually it was, the design was based on a grain of rice.
A grain of... Oh, this is the shape of Thai rice.
You could say that.
Wow. Very impressive. Good design.
It is, isn't it? It makes just a normal bar of soap quite interesting. So it just shows that technology is certainly important, but design, giving products a good design, will become increasingly important for things to sell well abroad.
I think so too. After the break, we'll be bringing you a popular documentary program, so don't go away.
How do we build sustainability into our relationship with Mother Earth? That's Kaiteki, Mitsubishi Chemical Holdings.
Enjoy traveling around East Japan. The Shinkansen will take you to the land of nature and hospitality. East Japan Railway Company.
The Norin Chukin Bank has a mission to fulfill. We are committed to the advancement of agriculture, fisheries, and forestry in Japan. Backing the network of our people and communities to help and support one another is a source of pride for us. This is our style of banking. We're banking on trusted networks. The Norin Chukin Bank.
Changing emissions from copper refineries into fertilizer. That is where Sumitomo Chemical got its start. For 100 years, we've been delivering the power of chemistry around the world. And we will continue to help make the world a better place for the next 100 years and more.
As the future evolves, Toyota is envisioning a more interconnected life where information and energy flow seamlessly throughout the globe. The road ahead will require diverse and eco-friendly mobility solutions. It is on this path that our small choices lead to big changes. Life. Connected. Toyota.
The search is on to discover the next creative master of Asia. Japan's leading TV and radio network, TBS, brings to you the Digicon 6 Awards, giving visual artists in Asia an opportunity to create their dreams. Whether it's a short drama, animation, or music video, if it's yours, you may be the next winner of the Digicon 6 Grand Prize. For more details, check out digicon6.com. It's time to create your dreams.
Asia, the engine of the global economy. Japan, a regional powerhouse. And now, direct from Japan, economic news with a global impact. In Chinese and English, delivered by Nikkei. Read the future, lead the economy. Nikkei, Japan's leading media for business.
You're watching Channel Japan. In our next segment, we'll be showing you that episode from a popular documentary program that's being aired in Japan. Today it's an episode from Japanese Dream by TBS.
Now, Demi-san, we have a product here in the studio today. Do you know what it is?
Maybe it's a replica of bone or something.
It looks like it, doesn't it? It actually is an artificial joint. As you can see, it moves like this.
It moves very smooth.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? So, obviously, we humans are made up of numerous joints, like knees and elbows, and damages to such areas, whether from illness or injury, can be very debilitating. So, this is what researchers have come up with.
I see.
And that's our topic for the story today, so take a look.
Human legs are more or less straight. But with age, many Japanese people have a tendency of becoming bow-legged, where the legs curve outward. In severe cases, the cartilage of the knees is worn down.
そのバスにも乗れなくなって階段なんかちょっと降りてますとですね、チクッとするんですよ。タタタタタタタってこうして。
If conditions become too debilitating, a person may have to undergo surgery to remove the joint itself and insert an artificial replacement. One man has been working to develop artificial joints that are designed for the Japanese physique.
This is a world first.
A joint that sparkles like a work of art. It was polished by the skilled hands of a boat propeller maker.
研磨、鏡面研磨ではよそに負けるなと。
A craftsman with a will of steel.
You can learn to love anything when you put your heart into it.
We follow a propeller maker as he crafts the ultimate artificial joint.
I have a dream.
Joints are indispensable for smooth body movements. Artificial joints, which are mainly made of metal and polyethylene resin, must be surgically implanted. One of the most common joint problems is osteoarthritis, which can result in bow legs. Across Japan, over 8 million people suffer from pain associated with this condition. The cartilage wears away and the bones rub against each other, causing pain. One solution is an artificial joint. Nakashima Medical in Okayama Prefecture is one company that makes such artificial joints. The lead developer is Koichi Kuramoto. He's a bit rough around the edges, but passionate about his work.
It needs to be properly polished so that it functions the way it's supposed to. You can't do it with a machine.
Meticulously polished is a knee joint. The inspiration for this can be traced back to a massive propeller. The parent company is actually a leading manufacturer of marine propellers. To minimize unnecessary resistance, craftsmen repeatedly polish the surface of the propeller. The final step is to make the curved surfaces shine like a mirror. But what spurred a propeller maker to enter the unfamiliar waters of the medical field and artificial joints? It was an order that came from this man.
たまたま当社の場合はお医者さん方が工場見学の時にそのきっかけ作りができたと。
The doctors specialized in orthopedic surgery. Seeing the smooth lines of the propellers, they said, With this polishing technology, it's possible to develop an artificial joint. Propeller making unexpectedly became something that could benefit people.
まあそういうことですから、まあ人間のこの幸せになることにつながるわけですからね。そういうことをやることによって、まあ蔵元におるんですけど、まあそれに言うて一生懸命やりなさいということでね、研究を進めさせたわけです。
An order was issued by the president. Mr. Kuramoto panicked.
I thought artificial joints?
He was naturally a complete novice in the medical field. But as he researched artificial joints, he learned a surprising fact. 90% of artificial joints used in Japan were made in the US and Europe. He thought, are those artificial joints really suited for Japanese people? He first considered the difference in lifestyles. In the West, people typically sit in chairs. If the legs can be bent 100 degrees, there is no major inconvenience. But Japanese people, on the other hand, often sit on their knees, requiring the joints to bend at least 135 degrees.
I wanted to make something better suited for Japanese people. Something my relatives could use.
To make an artificial joint designed for Japanese people. Setting a big goal and going all out. That's Mr. Kuramoto's style. An artificial joint that could bend sharply and suited for sitting on the knees required an unprecedented design.
I had to design it so that it bends easily and is suited for sitting on the knees. If we could make it move in this way, it would be easier to bend the knees.
Artificial joints that were being used at the time were made so that the connecting ends were flat. That limited the angle the knees could be bent. So, Mr. Kuramoto and his team came up with a design of rounding off a section of the joint, expanding the range of movement and making it possible to bend the knees sharply. The next challenge was friction. Smooth body movements are possible because of minimal friction of the joints. It's said to be as smooth as skating on ice. Mr. Kuramoto had a firm conviction. We are the #1 propeller maker in the world. We won't lose to anybody in the field of polishing. The first person he thought of was a 25-year veteran polisher named Harumi Watanabe. He put all his faith in Mr. Watanabe's skilled hands. To make an artificial joint tailored to Japanese people, Mr. Kuramoto brought in the headstrong craftsman.
業務命令言われたから、業務命令言ったらどういうことですかって言ったら、やめるか行くか。クラちゃんがなら最後まであんたにひっついていくって見放すなよと。
Mr. Kuramoto told Mr. Watanabe to polish the joint to a mirror-like finish. With the company's future in their hands, the two set out to accomplish their mission.
Kenma, 表面研磨ではよそに負けるなと。
Mr. Watanabe was confident about his polishing skills, but this wasn't the same thing as polishing a propeller. The joint was made up of small parts and had a complex shape. He had to learn everything as he went along. He picks out the best grinder for the job from 20 different types in an instant, and he adjusts the rotation speed ever so slightly as he polishes. He relies only on his intuition honed over the years. But the work doesn't go as smoothly as he wants. The surface reflection shows something is wrong. The wave-like distortion will prevent the joint from moving smoothly.
かなり悩んだね。2年ぐらい仕事できんが前進まんから持っていきゃ手直し持っていきゃ手直し1個が4日ぐらいかかるとかな。
Nothing worked. I started becoming worried about even finishing the project. We were depressed, but he must have felt even worse.
But Mr. Kuramoto didn't lose faith in Mr. Watanabe. He was confident that Mr. Watanabe would succeed. After a grueling 3 years, Mr. Watanabe finally came up with a polishing technique that caused no distortions to the surface. It shined like a work of art.
It's slippery smooth.
たどり着きましたどうです。ああやがたよかったできるようになったいうのがまあ最終的にはね。
An artificial joint born from the persistence and pride of Mr. Kuramoto and the hard-headed Mr. Watanabe. It moves smoothly and bends at a 135-degree angle, just the way they wanted. Mr. Kuramoto quickly took the sample to potential customers.
Doctor, this is an artificial joint that our company made for Japanese people.
A joint made by a propeller manufacturer? We already use European and American products. The doors of the medical industry were shut tight. Within the company, employees called the artificial joints extra baggage. The usually bullish Mr. Kuramoto was cornered. Despite facing constant criticism, he persevered. 4 years after it was developed, some people began to take an interest. One of those was Dr. Nakamura. Using Mr. Kuramoto's artificial joint, he has brought relief to many patients suffering from pain.
こちらの方、内側の方が外側に比べて少し大きくできている。実は人間が本来持っている膝の形状と非常に近いデザイン。
This woman underwent surgery of both her knees 20 days ago. She suffered from a severe case of bow legs, causing her joints to wear away. The pain made it impossible for her to walk.
バスに乗って買い物に行ったり病院行ったりしてましたけど、そのバスにも乗れなくなって。
She was virtually bedridden, but now she's able to walk and even bend her knees.
もう毎日が嬉しくて嬉しくてしょうがないです。本当にやってよかったと思ってます。
The doctor says she'll be able to walk around without any problems in half a year. The company baggage was no longer. Mr. Kuramoto is now aiming even higher.
この骨とこのロボットの位置関係を
He has built a replica of a surgery room in his laboratory and is developing a surgical assistance robot. The shape of a patient's joint is first scanned by a computer. Then, a robotic arm accurately grinds the bone onto which the artificial joint will be attached. It's the first system of its kind in Japan that allows the surgery to be monitored in real time. a propeller technician reborn as a medical craftsman.
Well, Utsuda-san, there's a lot of work being carried out to develop artificial organs, right?
There are. Now, just one example. This is an auxiliary artificial heart. Now, when the heart weakens, it becomes unable to pump blood through the body, and that's where this device comes in.
Right.
Inside the body is a pump, which is over here.
Yes.
And that delivers blood, and this box outside operates the device. And in the past, this box used to weigh at least 13 kilograms, quite a big device.
Very heavy.
But now it's been reduced to less than 5 kilograms. It's much easier to carry around, so the patient can move around more freely.
Well, Utsuda-san, are there any other advances?
Yes, bone therapy. Now, there's an example over here. If you damage your bones in an accident, there's now technology that uses three-dimensional images to spray a powder form of calcium to create an artificial bone, which looks like this. Yes, they keep on spraying the calcium spray, and it becomes this artificial bone.
Right.
And the company that created this technology is now applying for government approval for a commercial application.
I hope this technology would benefit people all over the world in the future. Well, that's all for this week's edition of Channel Japan. I hope you enjoyed the program. We have much more in store for you, so don't forget to tune in next week.
We've just added a new power shovel, and it's great.
Really? Who makes it?
Kobelco.
Kobelco? Never heard of it.
It's Japanese. And let me tell you, its fuel efficiency is incredible. Kobelco's power shovel delivers more while consuming less. Just like my sweetie.
Don't say that.
And powerful, too.
The talk of the world. Kobelco.
Since ancient times, these massive stones have been bathed in sunlight. Local rituals, dating back to prehistoric times, attest to man's respect for the sun's power. The sun continues to nourish us, always, everywhere.
Today, Panasonic is helping people reduce CO2 emissions with solar panels and other energy management technologies.
Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Perhaps it's true. Perhaps we've been in too much of a hurry. Day by day, technology advances. But sometimes we need to pause and listen to what nature is saying. Surely, steadily, and lovingly. These, we believe, are the essentials of manufacturing. Our technologies, your tomorrow. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries.
How do we build sustainability into our relationship with Mother Earth? That's Kaiteki, Mitsubishi Chemical Holdings.
Suzuki Way of Life.